All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our daily huddle. Jesse Macpherson here, and happy Wednesday to you. Hump day here on the middle of the week, and got some great stuff we want to talk to you about here today. But before I get into kind of a little bit of our conversation on Seacret, we have an amazing flash sale that has come about here for kind of this summer sizzle promotion. And if you haven't checked your email, if you haven't checked your back office, you want to take a look at this as fast as humanly possible. And actually, I think, let me see if I can move around here a little bit. I've got, oh yeah, that's much better. So gotta get my own training hat on here with all the, make sure the light is behind you, right? So if you haven't seen this yet, I think I can pull it up on my phone here. At least I'm going to try and attempt. Share content. I'm going to share photos. And let's see if this works. Boom. Done. And I think I'm doing it. I think we're doing it here. We can do it here on the phone. So look, our summer Sweet September Seacret sale. This is a 24-hour sale only. 24-hour sale only. So they're going to get agent pricing on some of these amazing packages, which is the shake, rattle, and roll, chocolate and vanilla, which is the shake and the greens for only $107. So this is basically all customers can get VIP pricing. We also have the green caps in recovery. We've got the mini hairbrush. This is pretty cool. And all of these are going to include free shipping. So VIP pricing, free shipping. You also have the Wow Pampered Nails and the exclusive debut offer. This is pretty darn cool. It's a superfood mask collection. Superfood mask collection. So it's the sheet masks, but it's in beet, avocado, and carrot. There's 9 masks, so there's 3 of each. And I'm sure we can do some fun things with this. But this is one of those programs and one of those particular sales is as you continue to build your customer base, as you continue to build your business, you want to make sure that you're taking advantage of making sure that your customers and your agents know about these special offers. Because one of the things is as they come up and as they come up quickly, 24 hours is obviously not a lot of time. So we want to make sure that we're getting in touch with our agents and getting in touch with our customers so that way they can take advantage of these offers and these promotions as they come up. So I did see, let's see. So no, I don't believe they're letting anybody order early. So it's going to be a 24-hour sale. It's coming up here shortly. So it'll be available here in a couple of hours. So for your customers, so we want to make sure we're getting in touch with our customers, but there's also, let me see if I can share this other photo here real quick. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So there's also a little bit here for the agents as well. So anybody that's going to go out there and get 300 in customer QV sales, this is purely customer QV sales. So from your customers is going to receive this special pedicure, basically 4-pack treatment set. The other thing that's going to happen is the top 50 are going to receive the Seacret SPF 50 sun cream. This is by far the greatest sun cream in the entire world. Every time, it's a Korean product, and every time I go to Korea, I bring back loads of it, and it is it's amazing. I've never had a sunscreen/cream feel and smell so good. So for the top 50 that are going to be in customer QV sales. Now, the next one is the number 1 in customer QV sales is going to get 200 of the hand sanitizers and 200 of the KN95 masks donated to an organization, a valid 501c3, an essential working organization for that. So we've got the customer sale. So we've got some incentive here for our agents. We have in this flash sale for your customers and for your agent. Now, remember, I want to make sure that everybody here understands. Let me see if I can stop screen sharing. So is with your agents, okay, this is important. You want all of your agents to know about this, whether they have customers or not. You want all of your customers to know about this, whether or not. And one of the reasons is even if they decide that the sale is not for them, it's okay, but it's a touch point. It's an opportunity to be able to touch that customer in not a way that seems salesy. Say, hey, our company's doing a 24-hour flash sale. Just wanted to make sure that you knew about it. I'll send you over the flyer. There's free shipping. And so you can be that secret agent, that secret customer, deliver a world-class customer experience. And it's another touch. It's another piece, another advertisement, because they may not say that, but now they're going, oh yeah, Seacret, I got to reorder my salt and oil scrub. So it's just kind of keeping that top of the mind awareness, which is really important when you're building your business. Now, so our 24-hour sale. From there, one of the things though that I want to talk to you guys about is of being of value, being of service. And this is one of those things that's really, really important. And what that looks like in servant leadership and servant customer service, and creating fans. So one of the things they say is that, you know, customers will come and go, but raving fans will stay forever. And how do you create raving fans in your business? How do you differentiate yourself from, you know, not just a secret agent, but anybody out there that's marketing and or selling a product? How do you do that inside of your business? How do you do that for your team? So one of the things in this is our marketplace pays for value. It is what it is. Now, I know all of you are incredibly valuable to your mother, your father, your daughter, your son. But when it comes to finances, when it comes to making money, our marketplace pays based on the value that you can provide for the market. So one of those things is in solving challenges or solving problems. And we all know that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And the question is, how do you translate that into a dollar figure, a dollar amount? And how do you be of value? How do you be of service? So some questions I want you to ask yourself is, how can I be of value and or service? How can I be more valuable to my customers? How can I be more valuable to my team? How can I become more valuable to myself? And how can I be more valuable to my support team? And I'm not just talking about, so my team being my downline, so to speak. And then also, how can I become more valuable to the entire organization? Because again, the more I can provide value, and how can I do that inside of this organization? And really, when you look at the culture and what has, I believe, made Seacret who it is today, and you look at the culture that's developing inside of an organization, I've always heard it said that culture is one person's character that's really duplicating inside of their organization. And one of the reasons why there's such a feel of community, a sense of connectedness when we're building the Seacret organization, even though we might be thousands of miles apart and we're just connecting with each other through Zoom or presentations, one of the reasons why is because it really stems from the Ben Shabbat family and the Ben Shabbat philosophies. And I was thinking about this when we really started doing these daily huddles back towards April and May. I was spending a lot of my time really talking about the development of Seacret and where things started and where I started and how this started and how important and powerful that is, because really laying the foundation and the belief level. Some of you guys were not a part of those conversations because you didn't come into this organization until later in your journey or later in this year, number one. Number two is we have constantly new people that are coming through this program and coming through this team, and we want to make sure that they get some of these stories. However, one of the stories that really kind of popped out at me yesterday that I was remembering that really changed the way that I saw leadership is a story that I want to share with you guys here today that happened really towards almost the very beginning of me building Seacret. And it was a huge lesson in leadership. And I want to share it with you guys here today. And I want you to be thinking about how can I how can I do something or be maybe even differently than I've even thought about leading an organization. In my first company, servant leadership was almost kind of like you serve your leaders. I don't know. It's like a weird way, like you kind of carry their bags and you walk around with them. And it was an interesting style of leadership that I would definitely say. Now, I was so grateful to learn so much from so many of the teachings that we had through that. However, one of the things that I was really looking at doing was I read, if you've ever studied any of Zig Ziglar, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll have everything you want. Jim Rohn talking about how service to many leads to greatness. And I remember reading these things and seeing these things. And unfortunately, a lot of times the experience around me I was noticing is that those that seem to tend to be a little bit more for themselves seem to be getting ahead further than those that were really trying to serve everybody in the company. And that bothered me. And I couldn't really wrap my head around that because it seemed contradictory to the things that I was reading from some of these incredible greats. And I was like, service to many leads to greatness. And I was like, all right, I've been serving. When is this going to come? And so what happened in the very beginning of my business was this. Hang on one sec, guys. I'm going to do a little mute. Come. Ta-da. So I get started inside of Seacret in October of 2011. It's really the very beginning of the build. And we're trying to get this thing off the ground. Nobody really knows what's going on. We don't really have a kit. We don't really have, the Secret Agent brand wasn't even made yet. The Secret Agent logo that you guys see wasn't even made yet. They were still called distributors. We had really no presentations yet. It was such a unique time, and looking back on it now, seeing how far we've come in the last 9 years, it's been incredible. But I remember I lived in Los Angeles at this time, and obviously Seacret based in Phoenix. And my first trip out to Seacret, which we'll save for another story and another video, which is pretty hilarious in itself. But I made the decision to join Seacret. And one of the primary reasons I made the decision to join Seacret was because I wanted to work with this family. It wasn't so much about the products, although I saw the magic of the products through the demonstration, and I could understand that. I saw the compensation plan, and I was like, wow, okay, this company has an aggressive new age compensation. I saw the timing. All those things were kind of check boxes that all made sense to me, but they weren't the decision. The decision that I made to partner with Seacret was because I wanted to work with this family. There was something unique about how I saw them together and the way they worked together. And what they did was they invited me, they shared to their family Friday night dinner to have Shabbat dinner with their family. And it was one of the most amazing experiences. And to this day, it's still something that I absolutely cherish because they still do it. Obviously now with their, smaller now with their family. But I mean, every Friday night there was 40, 50, sometimes 100 people in their home that they were feeding. And it was such an amazing experience. And then they shared with me the Ben Shabbat story of how they came from Israel and the helicopters and ice cream trucks and these kiosks that they started and originally selling toys. And then this mistake that happened and their whole family sold everything. And I'm enthralled by this story. And I remember when I came back to Los Angeles and some of the people around me that knew me and worked with me, they were like, "You're joining a skincare company? Like, what is wrong with you?" Like it didn't make any sense. And I was like, I know, I don't know how to explain it either, but these products, they're crazy, and the Dead Sea and ice cream trucks and kiosks and toys. And they're like, "What are you talking about, weirdo?" And so I had to learn how to share the story, but there was this sense of excitement and this sense of newness. And I want to make sure many of you, if you've been with us really since the beginning of, from kind of April, May, kind of 6 months now. 6 months is where it's not new anymore, but you got to remember it like it's new, because the person you're sharing it with, they got to hear it for the first time. They have to hear your enthusiasm, your excitement. It's not I've been a part of this company. I just joined this company. I still feel that way today. I feel like I just joined Seacret, and it's been 9 years for me. So if I can go back to that, I know you can too. But one of the things that I will never forget, and this changed me, like it was a specific moment and it changed the way that I saw leadership. It was about a month into my business, and I didn't really know how to explain Seacret to people. So what I would do is I would just kidnap them. And so now I asked if it was okay to kidnap them first. I want to clarify this since we are on recording. So it was Friday morning. I said, "Listen, what are you doing Friday? And what are you doing Friday, Saturday?" If they said nothing, I said, "Perfect. I'm going to pick you up at 6 a.m. in front of your house, and you'll be back Saturday sometime. I don't know when." Right. And so I was like, "All right, I'm going to pick you up." And I would drive people. Seriously, in my first 90 days, I think there was only 3 weeks I did not drive to Phoenix. So I drove almost probably 9 out of 12 weeks. I took a trip to Phoenix, and it started with just my car, and I loaded people in my car. And then I started renting a van, and then I started renting vans to get people to Phoenix. And I was like, "Look, you got to meet these people. You got to meet this family. You got to experience this. You have to see it for yourself." And instead of me trying to explain everything that I experienced, I tried to get them to the source as quickly as I could. Now, what we would do is generally this. On Friday, we would drive out there.
I remember we went to this one place that had these picnic tables called The Farm, where they had these organic sandwiches, and we would eat, and then we would tour the warehouse. And we would walk in and we'd tour the warehouse. And I love it because Trish on my birthday posted one of her favorite pictures, which is the time that we first met, which is a picture with us in the Seacret warehouse. Now, back then, we didn't have a 3PL out of Utah where we were shipping products. We actually, Seacret was doing its own fulfillment of shipping the products because they had this warehouse in Phoenix where they were servicing all their kiosks, hundreds of kiosks, and they had $100 million, but it was all pallets. Because in network marketing or direct sales, you're shipping individual products and packages. With the kiosk, you're just shipping pallets to the malls. So different business, but we would walk in and there's these just huge pallets. And then there's this little corner off to the side of the warehouse that was like Seacret Direct, which was the network marketing side of Seacret, where it was like pick and pack little operation over there. And when I first got started, it was like a closet. And then it was slowly like taking over the warehouse as we went. So, but I would take people there. We would go on this tour of the warehouse. They would meet the owners and they would be like, wait a minute, that's the owner's dad. He's working in the warehouse. This is it. It was such a weird experience for a lot of people and they got a chance to see it. Then we take them to the office. They hear the story from Isaac Ben Shabbat, our CEO, about the history of Seacret and where it came from and why it was developed and why we're here and what we're doing. And it wasn't about making millions of dollars and having Ferraris and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And it was about becoming successful, but it was about serving. And he said, look, one of the things is we'll never forget where we come from, because that is our job. Our job as owners and our job as leadership is to serve the people that are building our business and helping us grow. And that to me was really music to my ears. But then I got to see it in action, because my favorite part of the evening was on Friday night after this whole kind of long 6-hour drive and having lunch and go to the warehouse and go to the tours, is we would go to dinner at their family's home. Now, I'm so excited because we're getting closer to having the availability and having the ability to have a special event specifically just for this team, for you guys all to come to Phoenix and experience what I'm talking about. And this is going to be coming really shortly here, which I'm excited that things are starting to open up now, which is going to be coming. But here's what happened to me. Friday night, we go to dinner with their family, and afterwards, Isaac would usually invite people back. Now, we're usually tired because we woke up at 5 a.m. and it was a long drive, and we get there and it's a full day of information. It's usually kind of overload, but no one's tired because we're all buzzing from the event. And we, you know, so we would go back to Isaac's home. And so we ended up going back to Isaac's home, and it's like midnight and everyone's excited. And I remember it was just a car full of people. It was one of my first trips I was out there. I think it was my third trip, if I'm not mistaken. And I've got 4 or 5 friends with me. Now, I want you to clarify, these are not professional network marketers, okay? Because when I asked Isaac, I said, who do I bring to come see this? He said, just bring good people. That's what he told me. He said, you know, it wasn't about bringing the most influentials. Bring good people. Bring good people that are, you know, hungry and willing to work and are looking that you believe that would want to be a part of this. Bring good people. That's what he said. That was his example. So these people I brought, these are friends. Some of them have had a little bit of experience in network marketing. None of them had been successful in network marketing to any large degree. Maybe they've been around the industry. But I've got 3 friends with me, and we're at Isaac's house. It's midnight, and Isaac asked me something, as he always does, is he serves everybody to the best of his ability. And he says, hey, does anybody want any coffee? And even though it was so late, nobody wanted to go to sleep because we were just so buzzing from the experience. And he said, okay, great. And one of my friends was like, yeah, I'll have some coffee. Anyway, Isaac somehow disappears. Now, I want you to get this, like, there's a few people. There's probably about 12 people in the house or something, right? And I'm kind of walking around, talking to people. How was your day? What did you like? How did it go? And everyone's just buzzing. And after like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm like, where's Isaac? Like, I mean, we're in his house, and has anyone seen Isaac? I remember like walking around to each person. I was like, have you seen Isaac? They're like, no, I haven't seen him. Have you seen Isaac? I haven't seen him. And I can't find him. And now I'm like, maybe, I don't know, maybe he took a phone call, maybe he went to his room. I had like no idea, right? So all of a sudden, about 30 minutes later, Isaac walks in the front door as I'm walking to try to look for him in his own house. And he walks in the front door with a paper bag. And he walks in, and I was like, Isaac, where did you go? Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I went to go get milk. And I was like, for what? He was like, for the coffee. And I lost it. Like, I mean, even today, like I can feel it on me. It's making me almost tear up slightly because it changed. This one moment changed me. Like I'm telling you, it completely changed the way that I looked at leadership. And he walked in and I was like, for the milk, for the coffee, for my friends. And he was like, yeah. And it wasn't the fact that he said it, it was how he said it. Like, yeah, I want to go get milk. So here's what happens. My brain is like spinning as fast as possible at this whole scenario of what has just happened and the experience that I just had, because my whole body's like flushed with this like feeling that I'm not used to, right? And I go, okay, wait a minute. I totally remember this. Like 30 minutes ago, he went and asked my friends if they wanted coffee. They said yes. He went to the refrigerator, saw there was no milk, left his house at midnight, left with strangers. Like, we're strangers. I don't know this guy that well. Left his house, went to the store, went, grabbed milk, and came back in like, yeah, I went to go get milk. And my mind just like, I couldn't comprehend it. This wasn't the assistant. This wasn't the person. It wasn't like these people were going to bring thousands of people to Seacret and they were going to, bring hundreds of millions of dollars worth of revenue to the company, tens of thousands of dollars worth of revenue to the company. Now, not that they couldn't, but that wasn't it. And I was like, I remember this is literally what I said to myself. I would never have done that. I would have never done that. But you know what I would have done? I would have gone to the refrigerator. I would have saw there was no milk. I would have went back. I said, hey guys, so we don't have any milk, but you can have it black. Like that's for sure what I would have done. I would have done that for sure. And I just looked, I stared at him like he was an alien. I was like, I don't even know who you are. Like, where did you come from? And I was like, this is the CEO of the company that I'm working with. And God, nobody's perfect, but man, that was a moment for me that I was like, that's what servant leadership looks like. And it wasn't like, it wasn't a huge thing. It was just a small thing of going, wow, man, serving the people that you're around, making them feel good, making them feel comfortable. And it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go the extra mile for it. It was so natural. And man, I remember and my friends didn't really know what happened, but that experience for me is what gave it. Now, that's one story. I have hundreds of those, like hundreds of them. And when people say why do you believe in this company so much? Why do you see where it's going so much? Whether it's ups or downs, doesn't matter. I'm like, guys, I know what I have here at Seacret, and I can promise you, not that it's nowhere else in the world, because I don't want to say that, because I don't believe that there's no other true kindness or servant leadership in the world. But man, it's pretty hard to find. But more importantly, it's really difficult to find within owners that have no intention of ever wanting to sell a business, that have given their oath to build it for the rest of their life, because it's who they are. It's a part of their DNA. But to be able to do that in a company that has products that actually deliver, that have a unique story, that have a beginning. Like, man, this is just like, these stories were the ones that really got me. And I can go on and on and on. And I'll give you one more. It was 2 years later into my business, I started making a lot of money, and more money than I ever made in my life. Now I'm living in California. And if you guys are living in California or know California, California has a 10% state income tax. You don't really notice it as much when you're on the smaller scales, which you should, because it's even more important. But when you start making some money, I wrote a check to California in like 2014 or 2013. I was like, nope, this is dumb. So I was like, I have to leave. So Isaac's like, you should come to Phoenix. And Isaac's like trying to convince us to move to Phoenix, not because he wants us to Phoenix, but I wanted to be closer. I wanted to be closer to the proximity, because proximity is power. So I'm like, you know what, maybe this could be a great move for us. And we would come, we could learn the culture better. We could be a part of the kind of the core of this. We could help, the videos. And I was traveling so much anyway that it was a perfect timing. So Isaac's like, when are you moving? And I gave him the date. He was like, I'm going to come help you move. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, no, like, now at this point, at the beginning, like, it made sense to me. Like, okay, we were struggling, we were broke, we didn't have anything, but look, like right now, I mean, we're making $10,000 a week in Seacret. we can pay movers. Like, this isn't a big deal, just so you know. And and he's like, no, I'm gonna help you move. I was like, no, you're not. Look, you're the CEO of the company. Look, I know. And over this 2 years, we've developed a close relationship. And I watched this, and I was like, look, you're not gonna, no. Like, I was at, no, Isaac, you're not gonna help me do this. He's like, fine. Fool shows up at my house. Shows up at my house. At my house. Because he knew the day was moving. He shows up. He flies to Los Angeles. Like, and I'm like angry at him, but also at the same time, I mean, like, you're a unique human being. All right. Shows up at my house. He's doing conference calls. He's doing the CEO stuff while he's packing up boxes. Helps me load. He's the only guy who showed up. And he showed up from Phoenix. Now, here's what's crazy. Thank God he showed up. We had a trouble with the trailer. And so what ended up happening was we couldn't load one of the cars onto the trailer properly. So we needed another person to drive. So Isaac drove my moving truck from Phoenix, from LA back to Phoenix. And then the next day, okay, woke up while we were all passed up and found a house. And he said, hey, I think I found a house for you guys. So, because we weren't sure where we were going to live, we kind of had all our stuff in one of those pods still. And and literally found a pot. And the next morning found a house, which is the house that I ended up buying. And I was like, Isaac, I don't know the market. He's like, no, I know the real estate market out here. It's really good. This trust me. I was like, it's a little over my range. And he was like, just trust me, buy it. I buy the house for $1.3 million, 1.325, sell the property 2 years later for 1.675. Right? Like, I have hundreds of these stories. And this is like, so why I'm saying this, why I'm sharing this with you is I want you guys to understand the ownership of Seacret, number one. Number two, these stories, some of you guys are going, wow, those are amazing. These are my stories. Right now, you're developing your stories. And some of you don't realize how powerful your stories are when you're going to share them with the people that are looking at Seacret and evaluating Seacret. Some of you have stories that are just as powerful of what Trish has done for you, of what Ruth has done for you. I might be a part of some of your stories, and I hope that's one of my my prayers is that I get to be a part of your story as somebody that made a difference or made an impact in some capacity. And the way that I get to share Isaac's stories. Now, what I'm excited about is here in the near future, we're going to have an opportunity for you guys to come to Phoenix and start developing your own stories. And now the question isn't whether or not you're going to come. I know you guys are going to come. Is how many people are going to come with you? How many team members are you going to have that are going to have an opportunity to participate in this? So anyway, I am so grateful for having an opportunity to be a part of the very beginning parts of what Seacret was. And I know that there are many, many, many more stories that are going to be created. But don't underestimate the power of one story, what one situation can be, and share those stories. Sometimes I think we get caught up too much in the details of the comp plan or the business or this or that. For me, it was milk. Milk was the thing that changed the way that I lead my business. So don't underestimate the power of a small act of servanthood or servant leadership or serving the people inside of your business. So that's the lesson for today. Let's be of service. Let's be of value to our customers, to our team, to our support group here as best as we possibly can and gets out of our company. I'll see you guys next week. Jesse Macpherson signing off. Bye.